Hello everyone, welcome to Soul Shaker Studios. This is a very different video that we're gonna be doing, but Gabe and I are here, or Joy, some of you know him. We're both very passionate Pokemon fans, I'd say.
Very true.
We like Pokemon. Pokemon's great. A lot of this channel started on Pokemon. Pokemon is good. And as of course, there will be, with Pokemon Sword and Shield content, I'll be doing Sword, he will be doing Shield. We wanted to talk about the, I don't want to say catastrophe, but I think that'd be the best word to use right now. Catastrophe. Um, that was the E3 like discussion of the Pokedex not coming out. We also want to talk about general thoughts of what we saw in the trailers. Gabe didn't get to see the treehouse, but he didn't necessarily miss too much.
Right.
So yeah. But anyways, let's get right into it. So let's just talk about Pokemon Sword and Shield so far, because we don't normally do this kind of stuff. So I guess the first question is, how amazing those legendaries look.
Okay. So my sister and I, we both melted at the sight of the shield one,
Uh-huh.
which I'm really glad about that we're getting a shield. The first thing it reminded me is of, have you seen the meme of the white cat with the bread around its face?
I think it's a dog, but yes.
It is a dog, but that's what it reminded me of.
True.
Bread
Yeah.
cat
No,
is
I think that
everything
there's also a meme of like a dog with his face in bread and his like tongue's hanging
right.
out.
It's so good.
No, I
And-
I like the legendaries and everything. Even the sword one, Zycan, looks cool. Of
Right.
course, you know, the shield one's gonna be the best one because its defense is gonna be like base 7,000.
So are they gonna have like the same HP, same speed, but then just flip their attack and defenses?
I'd honestly even argue that my attack one speed will be faster than.
That would make sense. So
And
mine would have higher HP and defenses, yours would have
Yeah.
higher speed and
Special attack, speed, and normal attack, and you would have special
Yeah.
defense, health, and yeah. But also they have like that. I don't want to say mode change, but mode change. Like their shield, like the shield glows and like the sword gets all cool. But obviously
Right.
that aside, I guess it's moving to E3 now because we're beating around the bush, even though we spent 2 minutes talking about that. So from the trailers and everything we've seen, the new gym leader in Nessa and the Treehouse Direct gameplay, with them introducing, so it looks like routes are kind of gone in a sense.
Right, which might destroy Nuzlocke.
Yeah, Nuzlocke. Well, I mean, at the same time, it's like Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee destroyed Nuzlocke, so
True.
you know, like they'll figure out their own rules, or maybe what actually a simple thing, because you can still encounter Pokemon hidden in the grass. You just avoid everything you see on the surface.
Right.
So it's like he goes right, like it's the most casual thing, dude.
I mean, you have your random encounters in the grass, and you also see
Yeah.
a Pokemon on the
Nuzlocke wise,
top.
I don't think that it will be overly affected, but the new wild areas are also affected by the environment. So if it's snowing, you'll run into more ice type Pokemon. If it's sandstorm, you'll see probably like in one of the trailers there's a Tyranitar in the wild. I don't know if, like, once again, I don't know if that wild area is just that giant grassy meadow and there are still routes. I didn't really necessarily catch all of that per se. But these wild areas, like even in the water, okay, you can ride your bike on the water. They're literally trying to kill Professor Oak. Like he is having a stroke right now. Just can't believe.
Now is not the time how are you doing that?
Why are you doing this? But yeah, so there's a bunch of cool stuff, right? And you can see Pokemon outside in the wild. You can whistle now. So that like aggressive Pokemon, like you can get chased by a Machoke or a Vespiquen. You know, like if you whistle at a Tyranitar, it's like I'm gonna break your shins. Come here, dog. Come here. That's cool. I like all that stuff. I guess now transitioning into the like unfortunate parts would be the Pokedex discussion,
Yeah.
right? But actually, hold on, before we go into there, I wanted to mention that there was also seems to be a new rain feature potentially. So in the wild there was Electrikes, but it seemed like it said there was a thunderstorm going. It wasn't just raining.
Right.
So is that like a new weather? Are we getting like electric teams? Like is someone gonna set up like storm clouds and we're gonna get new abilities that can like storm like some like a sand rush or a solar power or a chlorophyll, but in like electric terrain.
That would be cool.
Some cool stuff like that. You never know. Also, before we get in the Pokedex, because that's probably what everyone's really gonna talk about, Dynamaxing.
Big ass Pokemons.
So the gym leaders Dynamax, the max raids you can do co-op and Dynamax together, which is cool. Even in the wild areas, you can have like people show up and you like see characters that you can trade with in battle and whatnot. That's cool. It's like a weird hub world, but Dynamaxing. So once per raid battle, one person on your team can Dynamax, which turns your Pokemon big. And that also transforms their moves. So we saw like an Arcanine, which had a fire move, and then it became like Max Flare. And then after Max Flare, it became like, I think it was Harsh Sunlight, which is Groudon's.
Right.
Like Primal Groudon, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So that's mental. Like, you can have an Arcanine just turn off water move.
Right, but it has to Dynamax, and it's only like
right. But Dynamax, you can Dynamax any Pokemon. There's no more Mega Evolutions or Z moves, which I think you and I agreed on the fact was like Z moves were stupid.
Yes, but
Mega Evolution,
Megas were cool.
Yeah, like I understand for competitive battling, sure you might like Mega. I don't think Megas were the worst thing in the world. You know what I mean? I mean Mega Kangaskhan, yes. Mega Mewtwo's, yes. Mega Rayquaza, sure. If you consider Primal Reversion Mega Evolutions, yeah. But everything else, I mean, it wasn't that bad when you think about it. I mean, come on, like Mega Aggron is pretty cool. Like it became like a super wall. It really brought some Pokemon that needed some love up to it, but then of course in typical Game Freak fashion, let's give Salamence Mega Evolution. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say they update these Pokemon to be really good, and then they give other Pokemon who really didn't need it the ability to, so they just make them irrelevant again.
Well, yeah, I mean, even Garchomp's Mega doesn't even get used because normal Garchomp's just better, isn't it?
Right, so in the tier lists, Garchomp is OU. Mega Garchomp is OU by technicality.
Lamau. Anyways, we're not here talking about Mega Evolution, so we'll continue on with Dynamax, though. So that's replacing Z-Move's Mega Evolution, which, once again, it's on discussion. But I think Dynamaxing is, if you can have those side effects, like, we've already seen that you can turn Fire Blast into Max Flare into Harsh Sunlight. Now, is that affected by Heat Stone? Because you don't need an item to Dynamax. Right.
Okay, so we have Harsh Sunlight for 8 turns. That's a Sunny Day team's biggest dream. It's a wet dream.
Because if it's in a 4-player raid, I don't see why VGC wouldn't have Dynamaxing. So are we, like, in Pokemon Masters, like their juniors and whatnot, are we gonna just see? Is Chloroform Venusaur, like, if it makes it into the game, spoilers what the last part of this conversation's about, you know, are we gonna see Chlorophyll Venusaur just show up and be like, I'm here to kill everyone again, remember Gen 5, I'm back, bitches, I'm back, y'all dead. Teach your Rock Slide.
When I made the Ubers tier list, yeah, Gen 5 did.
I'm gonna learn Rock Slide, y'all can't touch me. You know what I mean? So, of course, then you can be like, well, then there's probably going to be a water move, which gives us torrential downpour. But obviously, you'll have to set it up. Like, so if your Arcanine's faster, you can get, like, a slow fire type that makes it into the game. I don't know. I'm going to pull one out of my ass. Magmortar. Dynamax. Dude, Torkoal. Torkoal Dynamax. Yo, support Dynamaxing? Hello? Dynamax Rapid Spin. You just fucking...
You just make it so no longer... setup moves can be used.
It's rapid spin and whirlwind at the same time. It's
all your stealth rocks gone. Spikes gone. Toxic spikes gone. Your Pokemon gone.
Yeah, you could do some, I guess, goofy stuff like that. It depends on how they're balanced. Like, once again, like if we're getting new status, like not statuses, if we're getting new weather conditions. God, I don't remember what the word weather is. What's wrong with me? Like, is Max Ice Beam gonna cause hail? Probably. I assume so.
Right?
And is it going to be like a Z move where this move does like max flare say always 120 base power, or is it going to be based off the move previous to it, like how Z
Right.
moves were? You know what I mean?
So flare blast into the or fire blast into the flare move does more damage than an ember into the flare move.
So yeah, is it essentially just like now like I was mentioning this earlier, how Heatrans run Solar Beam now so they can Doom Bloom?
Right.
Are we essentially just is your whole Pokemon a Z move now?
Is
Like,
Dynamaxing the mixture of Mega Evolutions in Z moves?
it seems like it. So it depends on how the moves are realistically balanced, because we've only
Right.
seen Dynamaxing like in a gameplay sense from the max rate, because it was Arcanine, Lucario, Togekiss, and and
Sounds very Cynthia-like.
and I can't think of the last one. Because the Arcanine Dynamaxed. Oh, Ludicolo. Um, like, like we only saw it then, and so it was against the Steelix, which was Dynamax, which had a lot of health,
Right.
right? So yeah, and then also like the max raids have like the Pokemon can just remove status boost whenever they want. Is that a feature of the moves? Like if I use Sandstorm while I Dynamax, does that just blow away status buffs? Is it just haze that does damage? Hello?
Right.
Um so I'd say those are my biggest concerns with Dynamaxing, is just like, is it just Mega Z moves? Are we throwing
Mega Z
are we
moves.
throwing that hard? I don't know. What do you think about it?
I kind of hope that it's not just we're getting rid of Z moves and Mega Z moves just to combine them. I hope like so does it say how long the Dynamax lasts?
I don't remember a specific amount of time, but I know it lasts more than like 3 turns.
I was gonna say I had this thought in my head. What if when you Dynamax your Pokemon and it's like a Z move, you can only use each of your moves once. So you use your Fire's move, and then you can't use that. So you have 3 more moves to use,
I don't think
right?
it'd work like that. I mean,
Uh,
it'd be interesting if it did, but I don't think Game Freak would gimp you like that.
right.
Because remember, they expect you to do gym battles too, right?
And
So
it's expected of you to Dynamax.
and Game Freak would not balance multiplayer single player differently. Let's be honest here. It's something that they would not even blink an eye at. You know what I mean? So whatever Dynamax moves do, they do. You know what I mean? Also, does Dynamaxing heal your Pokemon? And like because we saw the Steelix in the raid put up a barrier where it was essentially like 5 turns of protect. And then like certain moves that they were super effective destroyed like 2 bars of it. Is that an actual thing? Like,
Just like a shield type thing.
like is Dynamax Ninja meta? Like, is it Uber?
Just Dynamax Ninja. Just
Like,
oh no.
like if I Dynamax King Shield with Aegislash, is that it? Is the game over? Like, do I just win?
But does Shedinja even make it in?
Do I Dynamax with like Chest Spin or something that's Spiky Shield and that's it? You know what I mean? Speaking of
Right.
things that make it in, guess we a good segue to talk about the Pokedex. Okay, so I'm gonna let you take this one off because I've been talking a lot, and you actually have what I'd say is the unpopular edition of the internet right now.
Right.
So I'm gonna let us lose all our subs. I'm blaming this all on you. Your most disliked video. Go for it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Joy, and you're all gonna hate me for this because they all revealed, right? Not every Pokemon is gonna make it into the game right away.
Dun dun dun.
Or not every Pokemon is going to make it into the game
Period.
straight up.
Yeah.
We don't know yet, right?
Yeah.
So they're introducing a lot of Galar Pokemon. They're also they're bringing back a lot of Kanto Pokemon and some
Boo!
of the other generations. Are we remaking Gen 1 with new Pokemon? Is that what's going on? Are there new features to distract us?
Hold on. This went from a discussion video to conspiracy theory. I can hear my tinfoil fucking having an orgasm in the
Dude. All right, so we got these new Pokemon from Galar, right? That's really cool. They're also bringing back a lot of Kanto, and they're bringing back some of the other generations. My thought is they wanted to get this game out this year, and they want to, I don't know, save space and like data so they don't have to animate every single Pokemon. We're up to like 800 something. So they
Yeah.
selected certain Pokemon to put in now and that they'll add in later. That's my thought.
Which I'm gonna stop you there because I want to add on that. Now, I'm a person who believes that every Pokemon should make it in the game because if they do on the 3DS, there's no like their animation work has already been sloppy. Some moves didn't have animations, like your Pokemon don't move. If you go watch Score Bunny, like when it uses double kick, it just like restarts its animation randomly. So we don't know if that'll be fixed or not. Most likely won't be because in Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, some animations just straight up didn't happen with like your Pokemon. So that's up to them. People will criticize Game Freak for being lazy, etc. But I do believe that every Pokemon should be in the game. Whether or not it's on release or not could actually be something that finally solves one of the biggest issues Pokemon's always had, and that was post game. Let's be honest here. You get through Pokemon. Pokemon is coming out November 15th, which is a Friday. We all know your asses are gonna be home. All you kids out there, you got the weekend. Your Switch is portable. You're gonna be going, oh my god, Pokemon! And by Sunday, you're done. I almost can, unless Nintendo does something or Game Freak does something. You're gonna be done by the Sunday. My sister and I are gonna record on the Friday. We'll be done by the Sunday. I swear to God. And the videos will go out, but we'll be done playing the game already. You won't even see us.
Yeah.
You can't see me. We'll be done. Let's be honest here.
We
So,
won't get spoiled because we'll already be done, guys.
yeah, like so. What I guess back to what I'm saying is, this would be the perfect opportunity. Do you remember in 4th gen when you would sometimes look at the TV and be like, "Oh no, there's an outbreak of Pokemon."
Right. Yes.
What if we had just events that like later on Nintendo like Game Freak releases patches of updates that put Pokemon in the game, right? And then like they don't have to all be at their baby forms. You could say I'm just gonna grab 5 right now. Just say Girafarig doesn't make it in the game, Trico doesn't make it in the game, Meryl doesn't make it in the game. I know it's you know what I mean. The Bidoof doesn't make it in the game, and something in a Dragonite doesn't make it in the game. Then all of a sudden they could do more than 5, but just bear with me to get the basis of my idea here. Then all of a sudden Nintendo puts out a patch, right? And that you like there's like now they're introducing Pokemon Home. They could do something where they'd be like, hey, news for trainers this week, there's invasive species coming. You know what I mean? And they can just always do these at random. Like they just so no one technically ever gets left out. You know what I mean? And this would be a way for everyone to complete the Pokedex. You can even still make some breakouts version exclusives. You know what I mean? So I don't know. So Viper is only in Sword, and Zangoose only breaks out in Shield. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. So there's still the element of trade. But now you get this message saying, yeah, there's an invasive species of Grovyle, Dratini, whatever, like, and at random stages of the event. So then it also still keeps the player being like, oh, I want to complete the Pokedex. I can breed this Pokemon. You know what I mean? Still keep that element in the game. So you can go out, say you have to like do something that you can buy at a shop. It's like a lure that will attract invasive species, so it's a higher chance to find them. And then you go around looking for them. They can even make it in the wild areas because it's like a super safari zone essentially. You go out and then you catch these Pokemon. They can be at random levels. Like you can make them really high level, you can make them really low level. I don't give a shit what you do. And then you go and capture them. And you do this maybe every month, every week. I don't know. It really depends on how fast they get this stuff done. Like realistically, they do this every week because this seems like a very small batch of content that people will be like, maybe like there will be some people that week or whatever who go, nah, man, you know, my favorite Pokemon Girafarig isn't in the game. And then they don't release like its invasive species until like May or whatever, you know what I mean? So that person has to wait a little bit. They could get frustrated, but at least there's always the random opportunity of it happening. You know what I mean? So I think that's the way they go about it. Like a DLC where they could even do a massive DLC where like there's just a big ass patch. So game comes out in November. February we get a patch. Oh, you see like a plane, you know, or like something where like like Pokemon from the Hoenn region invade. They do like a cute little mini trailer, show some stuff, and then all the Pokemon from Region A are now in the game. Then another few months, all the Pokemon from Region this are in the game. You know what I mean? So that you can go through the Pokedexes. So like the first DLC, as much as I'm gonna hate it, could be Kanto. You know what I mean? I personally am
Mhm.
tired of playing Kanto games. First DLC can be free, can be paid, whatever you want to do. Game Freak, people will probably do it. And then all of a sudden, there's an outbreak, and then all the Kanto Pokemon are in the game. That will give people enough time to capture Pokemon till the next patch comes out.
And
That's
then
all
the
you do.
next patch is Johto.
Yeah,
And
next
then the
patch.
next patch is Hoenn.
Yeah,
And then Sinnoh.
there's so many options they can realistically do that actually please people, and I still think that if they want to deliver stuff, because here's the thing, Pokemon post patch isn't going to be shit. What Nintendo will send out updates if someone finds a weird exploit, and that's it. I think like I've gotten 4 patches for Pokemon Let's Go and Eevee, and that was like for some like internet thing to make sure something connects better. That's it. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So if Nintendo wants to do where they quality control their game and make sure there's no bugs and there's good starting balance, that's fine. Just give us the Pokemon later, which they're not gonna like. You don't realistically need every single person in Game Freak working on this. You can have a small cell of like probably 6 people, just the animators doing like a couple animators, some people who just go back and reference what the Pokemon learn, add some new moves to it, slap it in the game. Ta-da! You know what I mean? It's not like all they have to do is just update their 3D sprites they already had made. So that's just my piece on it, anyways. But yeah, go ahead, continue on with your Pokedex.
So that's where we're at, right? We
Yeah,
want to see those Pokemon come in later.
yeah,
Let's talk about if the ugly happens,
and they
where
never come in.
and they never come out.
Right.
How everyone's pre-ordering their games. They want to play the new game.
Yeah.
Do people stop playing Pokemon? Do they not trust the next game if this new Pokemon game on the Switch, which I wouldn't call Let's Go or Pikachu and Eevee to be a new game, would they not trust like Pokemon Switch games anymore because it doesn't have all the Pokemon? Right?
Uh,
Are we restarting? Are we going, hey, look, this is Gen 8, but only like Gen 8 and select other Pokemon are here? And then the next like Gen 9 will have all the Gen 8 and Gen 9? Are
the
we
thi-
restarting from
I
scratch?
mean, you could restart from scratch, but once again, here's the other big thing. You have to remember is that every Pokemon is someone's favorite Pokemon.
Rubbish.
And there's people who have transferred a Pokemon from Fire Red to Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, and now they won't be able to use it anymore.
I have a shiny Absol that's on Ultra Moon right now
That you transferred
from
from,
Emerald.
yeah, and that's gone now. You won't be able to use it ever.
Yeah.
It will, and
Well,
here's the thing: Pokemon Home is also a paid subscription. You have to pay for it. So you essentially have to pay to hope one day that you're going to have to pay to have this Pokemon brought into a new home.
there's so much to be worried about if
It
they.
Here's the thing:
Oof.
people are getting on Game Freak's case of also being lazy. There's a lot of like, because people be like, if you actually think about a Pokemon Sword and Shield, yes, it looks good, but that's comparing it to other Pokemon games. There's current games out right now that already blow it out of the water graphically wise. You know what I mean?
True.
So if Sword and Shield is starting off on this lazy trend already, and we're just becoming complacent. Now I understand the Pokemon games aren't Nintendo's primary selling point. They just essentially use them to push the anime forward. Right?
Mhm.
You essentially play Pokemon Sword and Shield along with Ash as he goes through his stupid journey of never evolving anything.
Or, he doesn't evolve himself either. He's still 10.
Shut up. I think he's 11 now. Didn't he have a birthday?
I don't know. Did he?
I don't know.
I don't watch the anime.
Neither do I. That thing's garbage. um,
So, yeah, it's.
But still, at the same time, I would probably say their biggest income would probably besides the show's revenue, would probably be their games.
Mhm.
I mean, here's the thing: if you have a dev team that's supposed to work on games, and they can cram it into Sword and Shield, And why can't we do it for? Oh no, they can cram it into Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon. It's once again, you can. I think they could cram it into Switch. Once again, they can release it later on if it is such a big issue. But I think the worst thing they can do is just be like, no. In Pokemon Sword and Shield, you will not be able to have all of your Pokemon from previous games because we don't like you, essentially.
Yeah, that's worst case scenario.
And the game's been working on for long enough. It's not like they realistically use all that many new sprites. All the idle animations are usually the same. Like they don't have too much to change from it from. So it just kind of sucks, you know what I mean? Like it just feels bad, man, in a weird sense. And the worst part about it is that most all the new Pokemon, or most all the Pokemon in this new game, will be Kanto. Like the biggest, there will be people where you see a video being like, how many Pokemon are actually from each region or represented, and you know there's going to be 151 from Kanto, a good chunk from Johto, like,
And then like 12 from Hoenn.
I know.
3
I
from
think. I
Sinnoh.
think. Realistic. I honestly, if we want to make a bet, pretty much to wrap up the end of this video, kind of close out towards the end of it as we give our final thoughts.
As I
I'd
say, I
s-
have one more topic before we close
okay.
up.
All right. So then,
So let's.
so I guess before we wrap up this segment, as we go into your next one, let's rank, or I guess let's rank how many Pokemon in like order, which will be represented from all the regions. So I'm gonna say Kanto will have the most representation, so that'll be 1. Then I say Hoenn. Then I go Johto. Honestly, I'm gonna say 6th gen, then 5th gen, then 4th gen, then 7th gen. Because they didn't really introduce us too much new in 7th gen.
Right. I want to say 1, 2, 4, 3, 7, 6, 5.
That's not a bad shout either. That's not a bad shout. Bonus points if every Kanto Pokemon's in the game.
Every single one makes it. I would actually throw a fit.
I would too. You know what the worst part is? We don't
Hmm.
Caterpie will be version exclusive.
Caterpie.
We're going to be playing it. We're going to be doing a catch 'em all stream like we did for Let's Go and Eevee. You and I are going to go through the game. We're going to stream it together. We're going to have a good time. Everyone in the chat's going to be, yo, Pog, I want some Pokemon. All right, Pog, here's some Pokemon. And your bitch ass is going to go, Moose, can I have a Caterpie? I'll give you a Weedle. And I'm going to be like, sure, because I need it for my Pokedex. I'm going to be mad. I'm going to be mad. I'm going to genuinely be mad.
Yeah,
I'm going to be mad. I'm going to be mad. I'm straight up be mad. I'm going to be mad. Yeah. Anyways, your new topic, so I can cool down and not be mad anymore. I'm still mad.
So I was talking about this with one of my friends. He stumbled upon, an artist who compared the new Pokemon with older Pokemon and saying that the newer Pokemon are very cartoonish compared to the older Pokemon. So if we have the new regional bird side by side with a Spearow or a Pidgey, it looks like it's made of clay compared to the Spearow looking real.
Honestly, if you showed me Spearow and Corviknight, I would have told you Corviknight's a Digi.
Right? So with all the Kanto Pokemon coming in, we were talking about, do the Spearow get like a little bit of a change where it looks more cartoony? Or does it just look like a real fucking bird?
Well, the thing is,
compared
once
to
again,
the
is there's been
Pidgey?
a rummaging of variant of a regional variation. Like Shofu kind of talks about that stuff sometimes. And like he recently went through a leak that pretty much leaked everything that was in the trailer and some other stuff, like
Right.
even Nessa and whatnot, were in that leak. So if there are regional variants, okay, if every Kanto Pokemon makes in the game, but there's regional variants of them, we can talk at most. We can talk. You know what I mean? But like,
Right.
if you're putting every Kanto Pokemon in the game, they better be a goddamn regional every single one. Not a single one can. If I find a normal Rattata in the goddamn wild, I will set fire to the entire Galar region. Swear to God, dude. Swear to God.
Set fire to the brain.
But that's it. Like, if that's how they're like, No, I completely. Even if you look at starters, like look at Charmander, Squirtle, and Bulbasaur, and look at these 3 new ones. Like they're almost like it's more humanoid than animal.
Right.
Like
Um,
Groki's, like my sister and I have a way to we don't refer to them to Groki, Sobble, and Scorbunny.
Okay.
We refer to them as like so first it's like, it's like chaotic neutral, so it's stupid, and then it's stupid depressed, stupid jock, and stupid stupid.
Okay, fair enough.
You can tell which
That's
one's which. Yeah.
right.
Anything else you want to talk about?
I just I I all these new Pokemon we keep seeing look really cartoonish, and I get that they're Pokemon, but all the Kanto Pokemon look, realistic.
Well, it's a new director
And
heading Pokemon. Isn't Musa didn't he like new? Didn't he take over from someone
I
else?
yeah, I don't know.
I think so. I remember hearing Pokey talking about that. How like it's gonna be whatever. Yeah.
It's gonna feel like
Fun.
a real disconnect if I see a Spearow that looks like a real bird side by side this new Galar bird that looks
I'm
like
sorry.
it's made of
Cordite School is
clay.
shit. Like Skarmory
I
wishes.
I mean that I would compare him more to Skarmory than the new bird. I think he's like his standalone bird, not the
Yeah.
three-stage evolution
Probably. Or they could
that you
change things
usually
up.
get.
You really never know. We
True.
don't know until the game's here. There might be some like once again, if it's a new full direction for Pokemon, and here at the end of the day, it could have just been a mistranslation or worded poorly. Like
Mhm.
they probably said, "Oh, like let's be honest here, Nintendo is probably one of the most secretive companies when it comes to development stuff." Unless a game needs to be pushed back, like Metroid Prime 4 and Animal Crossing. But Animal Crossing we really
Mm.
didn't hear anything about until E3, and then we were told it was pushed back. So it's like, okay, fuck, whatever. Um,
Animal Crossing
Here's my
20.
thing. I think that Pokemon, that they're probably going to try a new approach to it, and they expected a lot of backlash,
Yeah.
and they're probably going to do that DLC thing you and I were talking about. I think because the biggest thing about Pokemon is that there's always been hard post game. How do you keep the person playing the game? You know what I mean? And I think
Mhm.
that is your biggest point there, is to keep the actual story going. And honestly, after playing Persona 5, Dragon Quest 11, and the new Final Fantasies, Kingdom Hearts recently started streaming again, New Game Plus. New Game Plus needs to happen. Like just as a wish list thing, there needs to be a way for, because here's the thing. You can look at New Game Plus as like, oh, but people are just gonna run through it with their strongest Pokemon again. So New Game
Yep.
Plus, you keep all your old Pokemon, just start the game all over again. No gym badges, no nothing. You pick a starter, and all your old Pokemon are just in the box. You know what I mean? They're just in the box. And you go, oh, well, Moose, that sounds stupid because then I just go get it and take out the Pokemon. Yeah, if you want to. That's the perfect opportunity for you to go, well, maybe now I want to catch and raise a different team. Or I caught a bunch of Pokemon, say, that were like later in the game, but I never really got to use them all that much because my team was just so much stronger and I didn't want to start leveling them up. You know what I
So
mean?
now I get to try this new, like, it's kind of like Dratini, but now I get to like run through the game with it and
Yeah.
not have to worry about
Or
bringing it up to level 55.
yeah, or you can even be like, hey, this time I'm gonna play through this entire game, but with only bug Pokemon, or only fire Pokemon, or only water Pokemon. You make your own challenges, and yeah, you get to keep all your old Pokemon from before, and you go, okay, so the only thing you see as a problem is, okay, so you catch, then I guess even a problem, if it depends how you look at it, you can catch the legendary multiple times, and
Yeah.
you then had the chance to actually get all 3 starters. There you go. Okay, so then eventually you could literally, after your 6th playthrough, you can do an entire playthrough of only the legendary dog.
I was gonna say your second way through, do you just say, I'm not gonna Dynamax?
Yeah,
I'm gonna play through this game and I'm not gonna Dynamax.
you can do an all-star run. Like this entire time, I'm only using my starter Pokemon.
Yeah.
You can play the first game as your first experience, and that is why New Game Plus I think would be so important for Pokemon games. I know it won't happen because it makes too much sense, and Game Freak's actually a dick. But I think that people always go, we need a good post game. No, you need New Game Plus for Pokemon. After playing like Digimon Cyber Sleuth and Digimon Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory, you need New Game Plus. Because you get to experience the game with a whole new cast of characters, and then if you want, you can bring back an old friend or two to help you bail out of situations. I guarantee you, I promise you, knowing my little sister, there will be a Let's Play on this channel of an Only Wooloo run.
Holy Wooloo.
Y'all think I'm kidding? Just you wait.
Just you wait.
If there's a New Game Plus, that's what I'm saying though. Yeah, I like that's, and I know you can be like, oh, we'll just make a new account on your Switch. That's your New Game Plus. It's not
The same.
really, because it's not actually New Game Plus. It's because you don't get all the benefits of what I said. And then of course you get in your discussions of, okay, what about a hard difficulty? Yeah, that will actually be a good thing. You can do New Game Plus, and that's when you unlock hard mode. Get through hard mode, get expert mode.
That would be great.
Exactly.
I've been waiting for that.
It's so simple for them to do, just talking about it, and then you realize this is the thing. I'm gonna be honest with you. I never really liked the battle factories. I didn't really get them. I wanted to continue I thought they were kind of dumb because you build up these Pokemon, you get there, and it's like, can't use them anymore. It's like, okay, that's cool. I didn't want to use my Pokemon anyways. That's cool. That's fine. I'll just go cry myself to sleep. That's cool. That's about it. Honestly, that's my closing statement. I think the best thing for Pokemon would be New Game Plus, and just do that.
Yeah, that's pretty good closing statement right there.
Yeah. Because then you finally get an excuse to your buddy to go, hey, I'll trade you this legendary Pokemon for that legendary Pokemon. And then you can literally complete the deck. So you actually have reason to. You know?
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to add?
No, that's...
All right.
I finally found the picture I was looking for.
True. All right. Well, thank you guys very much for listening. It's been about 40 minutes of us rambling about Pokemon. It's been fun. I have not been wearing pants this entire time playing with a fidget spinner, and I just hurt my finger, and it really hurts. Ow. I've been Dangerous Moose. This was Joy Boom. We will see you all November 15th for Pokemon Sword and Shield LP starting. Stay tuned for more news on when that will be happening. Check out the rest of our Let's Plays. Persona 5's going on at the moment. Dragon Quest 11 will be next. We'll see you later.
Make sure you compare this video to when it comes out, so you can see how different and how if we predicted anything.
Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd
happy they did a certain way.
Yeah. Or they just delay the game and we all cry.
And we all cry. Many tears.
See y'all later. Bye-bye.